Welcome to another exciting edition to GroveCityHockey Presents
Hockey in our neck of the woods, and you, sir, were a very talked about person towards the end.
I'm a fifth-year senior, kind of. Well, it's my sixth year of college. Incredible.
Hey guys, we want to say thank you to our sponsor, Cut Shield, for bringing you this episode. Make sure you check them out on the link below and use the promo code for 25% off your order. Used by all 32 NHL teams and players, Cut Shield is the premier protective player clothing designed by players for players. Their innovative cut-resistant clothing has prevented serious injury to numerous players, including over 30 NHL players. Cut Shield gives you the peace of mind to go out and play without worrying about injury. Use our promo code GroveCityHockey, all lowercase and no space, for an additional 25% off your order today. Welcome to GCH Podcast. I'm your host, Ben W. Stock, and with me is a very special guest. I've got a new MIHA owner. He bought into the ownership, Dean Hindley. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Oh, living the dream. So, Dean, your role in MIHA this year, or well, now that you've kind of bought into the ownership group, is to focus on the refereeing aspect of it. Is that correct?
Yep. My official title is Chief of Officiating.
Chief of Officiating. That's amazing, because it's one of those things where, and at a young age, you're only 23, so that's great. Now that you're able to get in there, you've been reffing for quite some time, ever since you were 12, and which is kind of rare these days. But it's amazing to see, and I love your reffing style. I've been watching it for the last 3 years. Couldn't say anything worse about you. That's for sure. So I appreciate you taking the time to join us on the pod. Let's talk a little bit about you. First off, how did you get involved in MIHA, and what kind of brought the MIHA ownership group together here?
Well, I saw Carl was struggling with all the new teams coming up. It's a lot of stuff to put on one person's plate when you have over 50 teams now. We're doing multiple weekends with multiple tournaments. So I just came up really bluntly and asked him, like, hey, do you want any help with MIHA? I would love to buy in and, try to expand the game more. And, he thought it over for a little bit. He got back to me and, he agreed to it. So it was just a really simple conversation we had just after a random roller game on a Wednesday night.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where MIHA is just getting it really is getting big, because not only are you having multiple weekends, in a row. So like you could have like 3 of the 4 weekends in October. You're also having multiple sites on the same weekend now, so that makes it even more challenging. It's really cool to see. MIHA growing from, just 3 divisions. Now it's at 5 divisions, and it's only going to get bigger and better. The level of competition keeps increasing each year. The T2 division, which is essentially your pro level guys, your T3 guys, which is your semi-pro level guys, and then your T4 is your guys that are just starting to, hit the tail end of their T3 career, but they still want to be competitive. And then now you have your local, I don't want to say 10 level, because everybody plays well together. But it's your guys that, that have been out of the game for probably a little bit, or guys that are just now getting into the game for the first time, are now getting a chance to play organized hockey at a travel level, which is something that, it's a lot different than playing rec at your local rink, because now the competition is a step up. and so on and so forth. And you're also traveling throughout the country. You're literally traveling from New York all the way to Chicago, Illinois, and it's incredible to see.
Yeah, we even have a couple Canadian teams as well coming from a different country.
Yeah, and then not only that, but then you have teams coming in from Iowa, Minnesota, Wisconsin. Teams coming up from Southern Indiana, Ohio as well, and Pittsburgh in that region. So this game is only going to, or this league is only getting bigger by the year. I think last year you guys were right at 46, 47 teams or something like that.
46, 47, or 48. I know it's one of those three numbers.
Yeah. And then now this year you're topping out at over 50 some teams. It's incredible. And it's really cool to see. And then some of those teams have multiple teams in each division, which is even more work, like Grove City has 4 teams, 2 in T3, 2 in T4, and 1 in T5. So it's incredible.
Yeah, so even D-Rob has 2 T3 teams now as well.
Yep, another original, MIHA original, along with the what's the Mid-Michigan Saints, as well. And the Detroit Knights also busting it out in the Chi-Town Shamrocks as well. But so Dean, tell us a little bit about your career. You started out just skating as a wee lad at 6 years old, right?
Yep, I started skating at 6. I started off as a goalie. Loved playing goalie till 10U. Started playing the player. Coach saw a lot more in me and a player as a goalie. I was like more like a Tim. Oh, his name. He played on the Boston Bruins. It's a real stand-up goalie. Never went down.
Tim Thomas.
Yeah, I was more like a Tim Thomas guy. I kind of just try to stand there and hope the puck hit me. So I wanted to skate out. Skated out my first game. Scored 4 goals. So after that, I became a player. But I was a hybrid player my whole life. I never had a set position, really. I was mainly a defenseman, but I threw in some center in there. I come from ice mostly. I just started picking up roller at 18 years old. So I'm still learning the roller game. I'm still learning to ref the roller game as well. But I think I'm taking steps every year and improving.
Yeah, and I've seen that each year that I've watched you reffing, and I've never really seen you play, because you're always reffing at the MIHA events that I'm attending. But watching you ref, I have to say you're probably one of the most consistent refs that I've seen out there outside of Chapman and probably one or two others that I've seen throughout the years that I don't know their names. I just see their faces. Yeah. Tom Ward would be another great example. So it's a great asset for Carl and the MIHA to have someone who, as young as you are, and is willing to continue to grow and to continue to build this league up to a phenomenal league. And I see it bumping up to maybe 100 teams in the next 5 years, which I think would be phenomenal.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
Just keep getting bigger and keep improving. Only 2 things you can do.
Yep. And who knows, maybe instead of the big 3, it'll be the big 4, that would be great to witness and see, throughout the roller season. I think it would be great.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us how you kind of transitioned into roller, because you said you kind of got into roller a little late, at the ripe old age of 18. What drew you to roller hockey, and why you kind of like that aspect of it a little bit more than ice at the moment?
So my buddy Cam G, he plays in the T2 division. He needed another body for his roller team, and I was like, I've never played it before, but I'll give it a try. So I bought a pair of $20 skates off of eBay, and he looked at my skates and told me you need roller specific tile wheels. I was like, I didn't know anything about roller at all. I came with my hockey bag. I thought you wore full hockey gear and everything. So, first game I kind of looked like a dummy out there, but after that I ended up getting, pants and everything. And I love the 4-on-4 format. I love the fast paced environment of roller more than ice. and I love just the high scoring games the best. I feel bad for the goalies in roller mostly because you can't slide out there. You kind of just gotta hope the puck hits you. And like I love playing goalie in roller as well. They randomly need a sub for goalie. I'll just throw the pads on and play out there.
Yeah, that's awesome. Now, what? Give me some of your favorite refereeing stories. I know I have a buddy of mine over here who just loves to talk about a recap from conversations he's had with some of the kids that come up and skate to him and start trying to talk some trash to him, about how well he's doing. What are some interesting comments or things that you were told that you might need to work on while reffing the youth and maybe even some of the adults? Because the adults, they just like to scream at you.
Adults just cuss at me, with the younger kids. They'll be like super specific on everything. They're like, "You missed that offsides at 8:21 in the second period." I was like, "You remember that?" I was like, "I don't even remember that." And like the youth kids, they'll start screaming at you. I've had one kid tell me he's going to send his dad on me. I was like, buddy, I'm trying my best out here. The same thing as you are, right? And he's like, well, I'm trying my best, but your best sucks. I'm like, I mean, we're all just skating out here having a good time, buddy. He's like, well, I'm not having a good time with all these calls you're missing. I'm like, how about we just play the game, all right? And he's like, all right, he'll go away. A lot of the young kids, the 10 to 12U players, they go after me the most. Like,
yeah. And
they have like no cut. They'll just keep cutting at you. They'll keep stabbing at you. I'm like, all right, man.
The filter has been turned off on the 10 and 12U guys. That much.
They all think they're like the NHL and like. They're funny. Like they all like. I love when they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna go to the NHL in like 6 years." I'm like, "I'll probably be reffing you in like 6 years in men's league." But yeah,
yeah. What's my wife like to call it? Men's league. What is it? Men's youth league. Men's or adult youth league is what she calls it. On
you do some 18U house out here, and it's basically it's men's league with hitting. That's about it.
Yeah. Cool. So, what are you looking forward to for this upcoming MIHA season? You guys start September 20 something, right?
October 5th and 6th in Chicago.
5th and 6th. Okay, I knew it was close, but yeah. So the weekend's coming up in a couple weeks, man. So
I love seeing the new teams and like all the players. It's almost like reality TV when you got some players going from this team to that team, and then all like the rivalries going on. I love the heated games. I love when the players show some emotion out there. They get stressed out, and I don't love when they're screaming at me about it. But I love the competitiveness about T2, T3, T4. They all want to win at the end of the day. And that's one of my favorite things about doing MIHA. It's you never see the same teams winning a lot of the tournaments. It's always someone new.
Yeah, it's crazy how well. I mean, you do like from time to time some of the upper echelon teams, they will win multiple tournaments, but they're playing against teams that they've never really played against before either.
Yep.
The one thing I always loved about reffing is, and maybe that's just because I have a hearing disability, is that they could talk as much trash as they wanted to, but I never really heard them because it was just like I could care less. Yeah. I'm gonna call the game how I see it, and if you don't like it, well, let me know and I'll give you a bench minor. I was pretty quick to that.
A lot of the players will come up to me. They're like, "Did you hear what he said to me?" I was like, "I have no idea what he said to you. Like, I'm not paying attention to your conversation over there." Like,
what is he gonna eat your children? I mean, like, come on, like, what are you offended by what he said? Because if that's a you problem, not a me problem. Yeah. Quit trying to drag me into your. Go ahead.
I was doing men's league, and this is the first year I could do men's league at 18 years old. This was ice though, and I had a player come up to me. He's like, "That guy just threatened to shoot me." I'm like, "Well, first of all, what do you want me to do about it?" Like, I was like, "If you really feel that in danger, you need to go call the police."
Yeah.
He ends up going to call the police, and I'm like, and the police come up to me. They're like, "Did you hear this?" I was like, "I'm hearsay on it." he told me he said it, but like I can't confirm or deny he ever said this. But that'd be a really strange thing to lie about. So,
well, and the crazy thing is that he could threaten to shoot you, but what's he going to shoot you with, a gun or with a puck? Because
that was the guy's argument. He said that he said I didn't say I was going to shoot you with a gun. I said I was going to shoot you with the puck. Like that's a weird insult.
Yeah, I was just like,
I'm going to shoot the puck at you.
He just said, I'm just going to shoot you, So it's like, you got to take into context, like what, you got to do some better insults there, guys.
Yeah, like come on, you come up with something more original. There's a lot of Google you can look up hockey insults. That's not a good one.
Yeah, I mean, come on, like do some dad jokes. At least make it be funny.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So are you going to be in Chicago that first weekend, or you got your own crew out from the Chicago area?
I'll be there in Chicago.
Nice. Yeah, and because I don't think Grove City is going to be shooting that one. I've been trying to get them to figure out how we can get some game film for those guys, because it's a drive for them.
It's like 8 hours, right? Something around there.
Minimum one way. So
and you hit traffic, and it's 10 hours in Chicago.
Yeah, well, especially because of where the rink is located. Trying to get there is just it can be brutal sometimes. Don't do what I did and don't get the iPass and just blow through, because I think I was like $189 worth of fines that year.
I have I just steal my grandma's.
One trip. Yeah, it was one trip there and back, and I was and all of that was on the way back.
They don't mess around there, man. It's like every exit too. You're paying like $5.
Mm-hmm. Every 5 feet there's an exit that you got, or a toll you got to pay. But so, and then you finish out the championships in May, right? May or June this year?
May.
Okay.
End of May, I believe.
Yeah, and then I think you guys added a couple of extra tournaments too. To Columbus was one of them.
Yeah, we have Columbus. That's I know the first Columbus is the 19th and 20th of October.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's 2 more. I believe there's one in February, and then there's one in March.
Okay. Yeah, and that's going to be at the new Heat Wave Arena. With the help of Nasher and his celebrity, was able to open up a rink there, so that adds a new floor for MIHA, which is amazing. And I always love going to new venues and checking out the floor and seeing how it's going to be. Like Indy was the first time that I got a chance to see that floor, after being away for almost like 8 years, and checking that out. Like I didn't even know that building or that facility existed. So that was really cool.
I lived there for a year, and I didn't know that facility existed. So.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about that, because you also played ice hockey. You left home at the age of 15 to try to make the pros, right?
Yeah, I tried leaving. I left at 15 to go play for the Northern Cyclones. Then at 16U, I played Trevor Zegras, and he scored on us on a 6-on-3. That's when I realized I wasn't going to the league, but. I still had fun playing with it. I wanted to go play in college or play in Canada, but when COVID happened, I stopped playing, and then I just decided to take reffing a lot more serious.
Well, and then had you picked up inline hockey sooner, you would have been playing with Dylan Larkin and Alex DeBrincat, with the Detroit Border Cats organization there for a little bit.
Yeah, I've skated. When I was playing ice still, I skated a few times with Dylan Larkin. I skated with DeBrincat. I played on Little Caesars summer team a lot, so they would just come down there and come skate with us all the time.
Yeah. Well, tell us a little bit about that experience. It's got to be, you probably weren't like expecting those guys to make it to the pros like they did.
No, I'd say Dylan Larkin, I always grew up watching him play. I loved watching him play at Michigan, and that was a perfect situation for the Red Wings to draft him, and it's nice to see a lot of Michigan players move up. And I think the game's growing everywhere. Like the West Coast states for ice hockey are really becoming like really good teams, having really good AAA programs. other players are just deciding to come, a lot of the West Coast kids will come play prep school in the East Coast. So hockey, ice hockey and roller hockey, they're just expanding so much right now. And it's some areas just can't keep up with it at the moment.
Yeah. And it's great to see, hopefully with the MIHA league and the way that it's going with the new ownership crew. And not to say that Carl wasn't doing a phenomenal job. It's just tough with, it being a one-man show. Now he's got a chance to spread out those wings and get some extra help, and hopefully it grows into a positive direction. As his vision is, kind of incorporated with, along with you, along with PJ, and along with the Grove City boys. I've got PJ coming on for an interview tomorrow night, actually. So that's going to be kind of fun.
Yeah, should be great. He's awesome. Just all the owners coming in, and all we want to do is just improve the league and, keep expanding. At the end of the day, we are a player-run league. We need the players. So,
yep.
We can't always do everything they want. Try to incorporate anything they want.
Yeah, and then not only that, but then you also are going to have another youth session as well. You're going to have a couple of tournaments where I think at least 3 tournaments where you're going to have 3 youth events mixed in with the MIHA actual tournament schedule going on. So that's going to be good. I think you guys have an elementary, and then you're going to have like a middle school, and then you're going to have a high school division, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Just from what I've caught on the emails, I haven't had a chance to really talk with anybody about it yet, but that's going to be a great way to help get roller hockey some more exposure, and hopefully we can start building up the youth program in our respective areas.
Yeah, and it's a great way. A lot of people don't like playing ice hockey. Like, a lot of people don't like the physicality of ice hockey. A lot of people, the one thing I hate about ice hockey the most is how cold it is in every rink. So you have the opposite problem. On roller, I'm dying of heat out there, just a great way to grow the game. And we want to see more young players playing, even if it's just from, a summer league, having fun with their friends and getting away from ice for a little bit. Just help improve their ice game as well.
Yeah, and like we had talked about earlier, most people don't realize how effective playing roller hockey will be to improve your ice game. Whether it be positioning, whether it be puck handling, whether it be passing, shooting, all of those things are going to translate to, being a better ice player and being a better roller player.
Definitely. And, if you want to improve, then, and a lot of places don't have ice in the summer. A lot of our rinks close in the summer because they got to do maintenance on the ice. Mm-hmm. Even if you can just go outside, and, there's a lot of random roller rinks in Michigan you can find, especially downriver, where if you just want to go shoot some pucks and, skate around, you can do that. And I think it's a great way to get kids outside, get them off their phones and everything, and it's just a little escape from reality. Just put some headphones in and go shoot some pucks.
That's right. So that's going to push us right there to the end of this episode, man. Dean, I cannot thank you enough for taking the time to jump on, telling us a little bit about your career, what you hope to see happen with the MIHA this year. And, I'm looking forward to watching you guys ref. I'm looking forward to seeing how you guys are going to handle that, especially when you have some kind of situations that you may not necessarily agree with. But I also know that from watching you and how you conduct yourself, you're going to do what you think is best for the league. And I've got nothing but mad props for you, bud.
Hey, thank you for having me, and I'll see you soon. Hopefully we'll get to a tournament soon. For sure. Hopefully I can make it to a couple this year. We'll see what happens with the baby and how that translates. So, but yeah. So again, I can't thank you enough for taking the time to jump on the pod, man. No, thank you for having me. Appreciate it. All right, bud. Well, take care. Take care.
That's going to do it for this episode of GCH Podcast. I'm your host, Ben W. Stock.
Alongside Chris Greco, thanks for tuning in. Please make sure you like and subscribe on all our platforms on YouTube and on Spotify. We'll see you guys on the next episode. Cheers.